show is all about the very best, and we couldn't do a show about the best without talking about some of the best books I've read and some of the best books that Jenny Arnold from Barnes & Noble has read. Good to see you again, Jenny.
It's wonderful to be here.
Thanks for coming. I love talking about books. I love hearing about other people's favorite books because I'm always looking for that next good read, you know?
Exactly.
It's a downer when you finish a good book and you're like, oh.
And you need something great to start up again.
Absolutely. So tell me what you brought along here.
Well, sure. I've got some of my favorites. So I always love the Chronicles of Narnia. Most people are familiar with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I do too. It's just great. And there are actually 7 books in the series. So this nice leather-bound edition has all 7 books in it, but this is a series that I can read over and over again.
So not just for kids?
Not just for kids at all. In fact, the books come in bookstores. Editions like this come in the adult section and then different editions in the kids section, just because they really are meant for all ages. Just a great one to be able to share with families too.
And read over and over again. My son is a huge fan. Speaking about, I read this to my kids over and over and over.
Yes.
In fact, my nephew is named Max after Max in the book.
Oh, how perfect. Yeah, and of course this was the favorite in my household when we were kids, Where the Wild Things Are. And I brought it because I'm so excited. I've just started this one. I'm not all the way through it, but Dave Eggers has just written The Wild Things, which is based on Where the Wild Things Are. So this is an adult novel, but again, an expansion of the children's story Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, cool.
So
That's a great one.
Yeah.
A couple of your other favorites.
LMNOP is one of my favorite books ever. It's a book written all in letters, mainly between Ella and her cousin and a few other people who live on the island that she lives on. And they just really revere language on this island. They just write beautifully, speak beautifully, and then one by one, the government starts to outlaw letters of the alphabet from their language. They can no longer speak them, they can no longer write them.
Wow.
So they disappear from the novel as they disappear from their language, and it's just a very interesting book.
It sounds like it. Totally different. LMNOP, you won't forget that one. I'm going to pick that one up.
Yeah.
And this is, if somebody's a little down, a little blue, you say this is a really
Exactly.
inspirational, quick read?
It is. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It is about a seagull, so I was a little bit skeptical when I first read it. I didn't know how much I was into birds, but it's just a really great story. It's a wonderful pick-me-up. It is a very quick read, so it's another one that I'll pick up now and then to read, and it's a great gift to give to someone who's just, feeling a little blue with rainy weather or just something going on in their life.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
A couple of my favorites. I love this one. Have you read this one?
I haven't.
Well, you're going to read it now.
I
am
going to.
And the movie doesn't do this justice. Read the book. The movie, I hate that when you read a great book and then you go see the movie and it's so disappointing sometimes.
A lot of times that happens.
An amazing author. The book is called All the Pretty Horses. It's by Cormac McCarthy, one of America's greatest authors, and won many awards. And it's just it's like you're there. The way he describes things takes place on the West Coast, and it's about a boy and his journey through Mexico and all the things he discovers along the way. And my son also, I recommended my son. Riley's a huge reader, and he loved it too. So that's a great one. All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy.
I've heard
really,
great
really
things
good
about
one.
it. What about The Blood of Flowers by Anita Mirazvani?
Well, this was one of our Fox 11 Living with Amy book club books, and everybody at the book club loved it.
Myself included.
Loved it, loved it. Pick this book up. It's just, you learn a lot. It's great book to discuss. Pick it for your book club book. A lot of historical fiction, I think, in it.
Yeah.
You liked it too, didn't you?
I did. It takes the story of a young girl in Persia, and she has this great talent for weaving rugs, but it's not really woman's work. It's more men that are really part of this trade, and when tragedy befalls her family, she really needs to depend on this. And I just thought it was great learning about a culture that I didn't know that much about, but it was also a really engaging story. I was really glad you picked this as a book club read. It was a very good book.
Definitely one of our favorite book club books. And last but not least, this is just an amazing book, and I always recommend this to people. It's called A Fine Balance. And again, I'm really into all of a sudden historical fiction because I think it's great to learn so much about other countries, but in a fictional way, and this is about a boy in India, and so you learn all about their culture and quite the story. So again, A Fine Balance. And last but not least, I guess we want to talk about our latest book club book, which I'm so excited about it. You've read it, and you say it is one of the best.
I love it. It's called The Book Thief. I'm rereading it right now, and it's just a wonderful story. It's set during the Holocaust, but it's not the typical Holocaust story that you read. It doesn't follow a Jewish family, but rather a girl who's a foster child in the home of a family who ends up hiding a Jewish man. And it takes a different slant on it. It's a very neat book, a very engaging book. Of course, it's dealing with a heavy topic, but it's very well done. And a book also that's good for not only adults but teenagers as well. A great one to discuss with the family, but it's a really good read.
I'm so excited about it. Read along with us. Go get the book either at Barnes & Noble, pick it up at your library, read along with us, and then come to our book club meetings. They're so much fun.